area of a polygon. Area of a polygon. Okay, so I'm going to go through this list of vocabulary. I am going to show you how to do one of them. Then we're going to kind of make up a list of steps. And then I'm going to have you try the one underneath the octagon. And then I'm going to do this hexagon over here. And most of my other classes we ran out of time about there. And then I'll talk to you about how to do your homework, which won't be due till Tuesday, because that's when I'll see you next. Okay, so the center of a regular polygon is the center of its circumscribed circle. The radius of a regular polygon is the radius of its circumscribed circle. Remember, circumscribed circles surround something. They go around it. The distance from the center to any side of a regular polygon is called the apothem of the polygon. A central angle of a regular polygon is an angle whose vertex is the center and whose sides contain two consecutive vertices of the polygon. Area of an equilateral triangle. The area of an equilateral triangle is 1/4 the side length of the side times square root 3. So A equals 1/4 square root 3x squared. The area of a regular polygon is the side length is half the product of the apothem and the perimeter. So area equals 1/2 apothem times perimeter, or area equals 1/2 apothem times the number of sides times the length of that side. Okay, so we are going to go through and find the area of this. So I'm going to zoom in. We're going to talk about this. First of all, this is a pentagon, right? So it has how many sides? We're going to talk about, we're going to use this formula. Area equals 1/2 the apothem times the number of sides times the length of the sides. So it's a pentagon, so I already know that n equals 5. Everybody's okay with that so far? N equals 5. Okay. We are given the apothem, that's this distance here, is 10. But I don't know what my side length is. So that's what I have to discover. Okay. Do we agree we could divide this regular pentagon into 5 triangles like that? Okay. Let's find the angle of this central angle right here. Okay, who remembers how to do central angle again? What do we do? We learned it, yeah, we talked about it yesterday, a couple other times. How many degrees is in a circle? How many sides do we have? So 360 divided by 5. So we get that angle equals 72. I'm putting these little numbers next to it because they're kind of like the steps you take in order to do it. Yeah. Good? Okay, but I don't really want that whole thing. I'm going to have to use this right triangle I've made in here with the apothem. So I need this angle right here. How am I going to find that angle? If this whole thing in orange is 72, I just want this little piece right here. 72 what? What do you think we're going to do?
Divided by 2.
Divided by 2. 72 divided by 2 is 36. Okay, now is when I want to draw in, I want to take this triangle and make it bigger so we can kind of see it. So we're looking right here at this right triangle, okay, where the apothem is 10. This angle right here is 36 degrees. Okay, and we want to find this bottom part. All right, does this look familiar to anybody?
Yeah.
I've got a right triangle, and I want to find an unknown side, but it only has one side. You're going to have to use trig function, sine, cosine, or tangent.
That's like
So,
the easiest thing in geometry.
my next step is to label it. Here's 36. What is x to 36? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse.
Opposite.
What's 10?
Adjacent.
Adjacent. So opposite and adjacent, if you think about SOHCAHTOA, it's going to use which trig function? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tangent. step 5, I'm going to say the tan of 36 equals the opposite x over the adjacent 10. Now I'm going to solve. 10 tan 36 equals x. Okay. I'm going to stick this in my calculator, and I want you guys all to do it right now because you might have to do something special with your calculator. Okay, so I'm going to calculate. I'm going to hit 10 tan 36. Oh, that doesn't seem right. If this apothem is 10, how could this whole thing be 77?
Because that's how the calculator answered it.
Right, so there's got to be something wrong with my calculator.
I
So
got
let's
7.2.
check. Let's check
Bro,
this.
you always a little bit off.
No,
So
I did it right.
hit the home screen.
I did it right.
Hit the home screen. Everybody hit the home screen.
Yes, I'm
The off.
Okay. You're going to hit settings, number 5. And then you're going to hit number 2. 5 and 2. Look right here. Do you guys see where mine says angle? What is that word?
radiant.
Radian. That's not what I want. I want degrees.
Yeah, because mine was already on degree.
All right.
So I'm going to choose degrees. And I'm going to make it my default. I'm going to hit OK. All right. So I'm going to go to calculate. And I'm type it again, 10 tan 36. And I should get 7.27. That is my correct answer.
Okay, I got it.
Good. Okay, now that we have 7.27, this right here is 7.27 that I've outlined in pen, right? But I want that whole side.
So, times it by
So we're going to times it by 2. Step 6 is to times it by 2. 7.27 times 2 gives me 14.
5309.
Yeah, I'm going to just round to 14. Do you get, I'm just going to round it to 14.53. Okay. Now, I am going to find my area. Step 7 is my last thing. Remember, area equals 1/2 the apothem, which is 10. So now I'm using that original formula from up here. 1/2 the apothem times the number of sides times sides. So 1/2 times 10 times the number of sides. How many sides does this have? 5, right? Times the length of the side, 14.53. And that gives me, when I stick it in my calculator, 0.5 times 10 times 5 times 14.53 gives me 363.25 feet squared. Okay, now I would like you guys to either take out a piece of notebook paper or a scrap paper or write really small on a part of this page. Somewhere I would like you to write this down. So get something out. Okay. So, right here, we're going to start with a pentagon. Yep, we're going to write down the steps.
We just one paper now.
I'm just going to draw a line. You can if you want to. So this is going to be to find the area of a polygon. You don't have to turn this in though, so if you don't want to rip it out of your notebook, even though I've heard most of you do it,
I can write
You don't
it
have
small.
I drew a house.
But
I know.
that's not the pentagon.
Okay, find the area of a polygon You have the up top. Okay, I'm going to divide mine in half. On one half, I'm going to write down what I did on my problem that I just did. On the other side, I'm going to write the steps. So 1, I'm going to do 360 divided by 5 equals 72. So that was find the central angle. Which is 360 over n. Step 2. Take 72, divided it by 2, giving me 36. Divide by 2. I had this picture. So for 3, I'm going to say draw a triangle. Should I zoom out a little bit so you can see a little bit better?
Yes.
Next, we did, still had our triangle, and we labeled it opposite, adjacent, and we need to use tan. So I'm going to say, pick the trig function. Step 5, I have tan 36 equals x over 10, and then 10 tan 36 equals x, and then x equals 7.27. So I'm going to say set up and solve trig function. Move it up. 6. 7.27 times 2 equals 14.53. So step 6 is multiply by 2. Step 7. Okay. We had 1/2 10 times 5 times 14.53, and that equals 363.25 feet squared. So step 7, put it in the equation. I'm going to write down the equation. Area equals 1/2 the apothem times n times s, and solve. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you a few minutes to make sure you've got all this. Davian, can you not read one of the things I wrote? Which one? Number 7, put it in the equation A equals 1/2 times ANS and solve. And on this side it says 1/2 10 times 5 times 14.53 equals 363.25. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to try this octagon one right here using the steps. Okay? 5 minutes. I'm literally setting my timer right this second. 5 minutes. Go.
Wait, would this one be tan? Would it be
I'm just
tan?
trying to help with color class. You know, that would you divide everything by 8? I'm just trying to
And then
help
you
out.
divide that
You guys just have 5 minutes to do this. Remember, I'm also still recording.
I got 8.
What'd you get when you divided?
Or what? Divided by 6, 22.
That's why I did my calculator. That's it. Like when I put 45 divided by 2.
Hit control and
You be teaching me something new every day. I just have so much. It always be happening. I'm like,
I wish I was only right now. Sounds like 36 like go on forever. I feel like I'm looking into a tunnel and I can see the end of it, but I'm just not getting there.
Whoa. N equals 8. No, but do you see how she did 72? And I gave her 36. Yeah, that's 36 right there.
guys.
Wait,
Let's go over it. Even if you didn't finish it, let's just see if you did the steps that you did correctly.
I'm so close to being done.
Okay. So, first of all, remember, step 1 is, remember the apotham's right here at 8. Shh. Step 1 is we're going to go 360 divided by 8. That gives us 45 degrees. Step 2, we're going to take 45 degrees divided by 2, giving 22.5 degrees. Shh. Stop talking, guys. Step 3, draw your triangle. So we've got 8. We're trying to find x. We've got 22.5. Step 4, find out which trig function to use. We're using opposite and adjacent, so that is tan. Step 5, plug it in. Tan of 22.5. I know I'm going fast, but you should just be checking. X over 8. Then we're going to solve. 8 tan 22.5 equals x. So it should be x equals 3.31. Okay. Step 6, 3.31 times 2, because we want the whole length of the side, equals 6.63. If you made a mistake, you should fix your answers. Step 7, plug it into the equation. 1/2 the apothem, which is 8, times 3.31 times 8 gives us 212.16 feet squared. So if you got one of them wrong, which step did you do wrong? What do you think is the problem?
I was rushing, so I put like 10, and then 22 to the 8.
So Michael just said he put the wrong number in front of there because he was rushing. Anybody else?
Yeah, I put the 45 in the middle.
45
Well,
instead of
extra.
dividing it.
I
Thank
had
you.
like
Well, I divided it. I just put it in.
220.
You just put the wrong one in. Yeah. Okay,
That's math.
we're gonna do this hexagon one up here. It is quicker. Okay, so we're gonna do this real quick. This is a radius of 7. Okay, so we have got a hexagon. All right, so we know we're gonna use 1/2 a times n times s. We don't know what a is. That's my question mark. We know the length of the number of sides I have is 6. Okay, so we know step number 1 would be to go 360 divided by 6, and we get 60 degrees. Oh, wait a second, guys. If this is 60 degrees, this is 7 and this is 7. Base angles say these two have to be the same. What kind of a triangle is this going to be?
Whatever.
If all the angles are the same, it's equal angular, and all equal angular triangles have to be equilateral. So that means all the sides have to be. So what's the length of this side down here? If this side is 7, this side is 7, this side has to be 7. So we already know the side length is 7. So now we just have to find the apothem. So if we draw this in here, we draw my right triangle like this. So we've got 7. This is going to be 30. And this is what down here? Not 7 because it's only half, so it's 3.5. Wait. This is a right triangle, and I have 2 out of the 3 sides. How do I find my third side? Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus 3.5 squared equals 7 squared. So I'm not gonna go through the whole like how to solve the Pythagorean theorem because we've done this so many times it hurts my head. So we get A equals 6.06. We've done Pythagorean theorem over and over and over. We should be pretty good. Okay. Now we've got the apothem is 6.06. So we have all 3 pieces. So we just go 1/2. 6.06. times 6 times 7 gives me the area equals 127.26 centimeters squared. Okay? So if you have a hexagon and you have the radius, it's much quicker.
Okay.
So you want us to do
Okay.
the next?
So you do not have to do the next one because we don't really have enough time. I want to go over the back real quick, which is your homework. So I would write on the back right now, area equals 1/2 the apothem times n times s, and maybe go a equals apothem, n equals number of sides, and s equals length of sides of one side. Okay, so let me ask you a question. This first one, do I have all three of those things? Do I have apothem, length of a side, and the number of sides?
You have
Yeah.
the length of it.
Yeah.
I have the length.
And,
How do I get the number of sides?
You just count.
And I have the apothem, right?
So you just,
So you have
Solve
everything, so you
these.
just.
So do I have everything for the second one too?
yeah.
What
you
about
have,
the third?
Yep.
Yeah.
What about the fourth?
Yeah.
What about this one?
No.
No. So this one's where I'm going to have to do my 7 steps.
And the next one.
And then
Okay, now the next one, what shape is this?
Uh,
Hexagon. And I have the what?
radius. So you-
Radius. So this is where we're going to use Pythagorean theorem.
That.
Okay? All right. Give the rest of the hour to work on this, guys. You should be able to do those first.